Good day, everybody. This is Marius Landman, and I am delighted to come to you all the way here from Australia in Brisbane. If you ever come to Brisbane, please stop by. We will make you feel right at home. The first thing that I want to show you guys is really amazing what's happening in Taiwan, for that matter, in China and Korea, as well as in the entire Asian world. I did a live presentation to Taiwan, and the Bitcoin adoption in Taiwan is staggering. The reason I'm mentioning this, guys, is because when you live in America, the government don't want you to see what is happening in the rest of the world. Here in Australia, here in Asia Pacific, in South Africa. For those guys living in America, worldwide adoption in cryptocurrencies is a big deal. Yeah, you can see that we've got some people here in Taiwan, very excited. Did a fantastic webinar there. The most amazing, friendliest people. And there we have Jack. Let me just make that larger. We've got one of our leaders there. His name is Jack. And then on this side here is, we can't see him, but that's Conray. They are here in Taiwan where they just presented the Bitcoin charts. And here you can see is the Bitcoin chart. I was just presenting and giving the Taiwanese people a idea, like a long-term view where Bitcoin is going to go. And let's get into that long-term view. I want you to have a look at this as well. Now here on the bottom here, right there at 2011, November 2011, the market went all the way up, and since that time, it's been in an upcycle. Now remember this, guys, that I am the only person in the world that have said that Bitcoin is not in a bear market. We are in a bull market. I am the guy who came out with the name a granular cycle. And this is now being taken on board by universities all around the world, where they are looking at Bitcoin and realizing that what is happening in Bitcoin is indeed a new name. It's a granular cycle. On no scale anywhere in the world has any stock ever in the world done what Bitcoin is doing. And guess what, guys? Bitcoin is only getting started. The high point for Bitcoin is $3.7 million for one Bitcoin. Let's go and have a look here right at the bottom for those new people here. On 15 December 2018, Bitcoin hit that low point. Now remember this, guys, overall it's a bull market. No bear market in sight. What we had last year is a small pullback. You can't see it yet. But when we get expanded in this granular cycle, you are going to be able to look back and it will be called a pullback and not a bear market. The next pullback is going to come. And that pullback, where this was about 12 months, the next pullback is only going to be 9 months. The 9 months it takes for a baby to be reborn. Now remember here, guys, here in April, we said that come here in December, the baby will be born and reborn. So Bitcoin literally at this point in December got reborn. And that reborn baby is getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And it's going to go all the way to $3.7 million per one Bitcoin. Now let's have a look at where we are standing right now. At this moment, Bitcoin is approximately $12,000. Now we expect Bitcoin to go up slightly more. It's going to have a small pullback, a very, very small pullback, but a very significant pullback. The reason I am stating a significant pullback is because what is coming next could potentially drive people into depression. And I want you to be aware of this. If this happens, that you can take the right measures and don't go into depression, but know that this is only a pullback. We're going to get out of it. It's going to give you potentially very good buying opportunities, and bang, then the market takes off. And then we're going to head there, guys, into $22,000 Bitcoin. So for the time being, what I see in the market is this. I see that we are going to go upwards here. Okay, so what we are going to see is that we see an uptrend coming here up to about $15,000, maybe hitting $16,000 or $17,000. At that point there, we're going to see a small pullback here. But as I say, it's going to be a significant pullback into August and September. And then from there onwards, we're going to go upwards again and hit the target of $22,000 Bitcoin. Very important to note, guys, that when we have this drop here, which is probably going to happen shortly in the next week or two, and I'll go into that shortly for you. When that drop comes there, Bitcoin is going to drop and all altcoins is expected to drop as well. So it's very important to keep an eye on Bitcoin. When Bitcoin hits that top, all altcoins are going to drop. And you need to identify where that top is so that you can get out on that top. And I'm going to give you the indicators what I am looking for. I am going to get out on that top, more or less. And I'm going to wait and buy back on the bottom. Now, in general terms, Bitcoin is going to drop. And at this low point here, guys, keep this in mind and listen to this very carefully. Bitcoin is going to turn upwards while altcoins, in my opinion, is going to drop or stagnate or go sideways a little bit more. This is where depression is potentially going to come in. You need to be aware of this, guys, that your portfolios in terms of Bitcoin value could be could go down a little bit more while Bitcoin goes upwards. I've done a full presentation on this on last week's webinar. It's really advisable that you do look at that webinar. And if you don't have webinar subscription, guys, and if you are serious about making money, get yourself the webinar subscription. I'm going to have a look at Bitcoin here, and you can see that Bitcoin now is at about $12,300 and still rising. It's that green candle here. Now, for the sake of the new people that came on board, welcome to all the new people from around the world. You're at the right place at the right time, because here you have the option to see the big picture, the big view. It takes your fear away because you can see the future. If you can see the future, you are one step ahead of everybody else. I want to give you a guideline that you can use to do your own research, do your own buy and sell orders. Now let's have a look here at the bottom. On the bottom here, we went into double A, double B, the drop, and then the market went all the way up to this one here, which is C plus, and down to this blue box here. And we're going to zoom in and have a look at that. And then it went upwards where we are now. The screen's a little bit messy, a lot of data on the screen, but just bear with me. Quickly have a look at this 53-day algorithm cycle. On the bottom here, you can see that Bitcoin went upwards, it dropped, and then we had a breakout there, another breakout there 53 days later. Another breakout year 53 days later, and that same 53-day algorithm cycle, guys, ends here on 18 July 2019. See that dark blue line? That is where it ends. Could it be that there is a significant turn of Bitcoin at that time? Let me show you what we see, and I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger here. First of all, we've hit these targets of 11.8, exactly as predicted. And we hit that target of 12.8, and I'm just going to move them over there, more or less 12.8, 12.7. At this point here, when we reach this blue box, Bitcoin spiked a little bit higher, guys, into that level of 13,800. Now let's come back here and we have a look here at A+. A+ here is the next target where we expect Bitcoin to hit and get into. Exactly the same as what it got into this box here of C+, exactly in this box of A, exactly in this box of A+. At this point here, we do see a drop. We then see a sideways move, and at that point there, we will get into Bitcoin. But let me draw that for you and show you what we actually see. We see the market going upwards here, something similar like this. It could have a bit of a pause here. It could go back upwards here, and then perhaps hit into that box there like that. At this point here, we do see a drop coming, a very quick drop in one day. It'll go over to the next day here, create another drop, and then drop right into this box here, wherever that box is going to be, before then turns around upwards and then goes sideways. In this box here, we go sideways and we actually drop, guys, into this box here. Now have a look at this time frame here. If I put this box here and I say that this time frame is around about the 21 July, this is only an indication for now. I'm not saying that that date is the date that you need to watch. I'm not saying that. What we are saying is we've got a box here. In that box, that is where the drop is going to be. What I can tell you is that this drop that is coming, see this red candle here, that drop there, this drop could potentially be exactly at that point, which is approximately the level of $10,000 Bitcoin. Later on, we see Bitcoin dropping a little bit further, and I'm going to give you that indicator in due time. I don't want to give all the data out right now. But the play for now is we need to get you out on the high. First of all, we expect Bitcoin to go up into box A+. You can see that I have this figure here of $17,000. Keep that figure there as a probability. It will not be uncommon. It will totally not be uncommon for Bitcoin to just simply spike up into 17,000 and then come back the same day. Okay, so that can also happen. Keep this as a probability. For me personally, this blue line, that is a good indicator. And that target there is $15,000. Now guys, when we hit this blue box A+, this is also where the new ABCD cycle begins. But remember guys, what I said is that we need to be mentally prepared to take this move upwards. And let me just show you. It's going to come up, it's going to come down to this level here. This is where depression will kick in for a lot of people. Now from this point onwards, we see Bitcoin rise, but cryptos can still go down a little bit further. But let's not worry about this point here. We will get into that a little bit later. Let me get into Litecoin. Litecoin is perfectly on track. You can see here that we've got this blue arrow there. That blue arrow is still expected, guys, to hit inside this blue box. So we expect a move upwards around about 160. This level here still stand. The 179 still stand. And we can go as high as 189. The target high point, maximum target high point, this one is 11 July for some sort of a spike, for a move upwards. And then the latest point is that we have is approximately here about 18, 19 July. So in this blue box, let me just make that a little bit thicker so that we can see that blue box. In this blue box, guys, is your A leg. Exactly the same what we have in Bitcoin. So that there, let me just make that blue so we can. All these colors have changed here. Okay, so there it is. That's your A block. So we still expect upside there. From there onwards, if you watch the webinar videos, you will notice that I've given you this play. We expect Bitcoin to go up Litecoin 52%, and we expect a drop of 42%. Now remember guys, this is not accurate in regards to the date. You can see here on the bottom, September, October, November, December. Do not look at this as a date. I've just put that in for visual purposes. Let me actually go and put that in because so many people have emailed me, and then every single time my team has to write back and say, listen, it's only for visual purposes. So let me put that in. Visual purposes only. No dates. The dates are not correct. Look at the percentages. We're going to go up 52%. We're going to drop 40%. We're going to go up 32%. And then right here at this end, right there, we are looking for this play here. And let me try and mark that just in a rectangle box. And for purposes of this, I'm just going to make this pink so that it's a little bit different and that we can distinguish that a little bit different. I am looking for this play where Litecoin drops to approximately $75, more or less in that range. Okay, don't hit me on the head if I say Litecoin is going to drop to 75 and then it drops only to 76. You know, $1, $10, it doesn't matter, guys. When Litecoin goes to $1,000, $1 difference or a $10 difference now is insignificant. Because what is coming next, and I've warned everybody that when you see this play, this zigzag play, Litecoin is going to come to a point here and it's going to go ballistic. Carefully look at what I said here. 1,000% plus. That's only the start. I'm going to update you what is going to happen next at that point. Let's quickly get into Ethereum. Ethereum perfectly on track. You can see here that we've broken out here. We expect that. Let me just make this larger again. Again, I've given you the green, red candles. So we see Ethereum moving upwards into these percentages. I still have a target here of 418, 469, as high as 511. Again, go back and have a look at the video of the webinars that I've done. Incredible work here. If this plays out here, guys, everybody's going to make a lot of money. One thing that I want to show you, what is going to happen with Bitcoin here. Bitcoin is going to drop down into this level here. And you can see here that cryptos go up to a point, and then all cryptos are expected to drop while Bitcoin actually goes upwards. More on that on the weekly webinars. You really want to attend those weekly webinars, guys. Very important information that we disseminate at that specific point. Anyway, this is the target price for Ethereum. Expect some pullback, a bit of a stagnation here, but we are going to break up. And again, guys, look at this date here. Between 11, 14, and 18 July, somewhere around there, we can literally actually go and put a box in here. And let me do that to give you the high point here. We are saying that the high point is approximately there, somewhere in that region. Could it extend a little bit longer? Yes, it can. And let me make that caveat as well. It is very well possible that when we hit this high top here, that we could drop, could come back up and extend, and don't see this play here. There's a probability, because there's so much strength in Bitcoin, that we could break right through these levels. But for now, what I want to see a bit of a drop. The drop is very important to have, because Bitcoin can't just simply go up all the time. We must have a drop. Mathematically, there must be a drop, and we are waiting for that drop. If you see that drop coming, now let's get into Bitcoin Cash just quickly. I see Bitcoin Cash going up into this levels here of 694, 830. We then see a drop here, sideways a drop, and when Bitcoin starts moving up, Bitcoin Cash is going to move up as well, where other coins actually drop while Bitcoin actually skyrockets and go up. But more on that, guys. This is later. For now, my goal here is to get you out on this high between 694 and 830, as high as $1,000. We've got a few days, 10, 12, 15 days to have a look at that high point. We are going to get you out on the high point. Imagine if you can get out of $1,000 there and perhaps buy, let's say Bitcoin Cash maybe at this low point here of $300, maybe there at $500. This is how we farm and make extra cryptos. EOS, just really quickly, we do see EOS going up into this level here at that point number 7 there. I have put sell orders in at about, I think it was about $9.95 or $10, more or less $10. But we are going to see a spike upwards. This is the 45-day cycle for EOS. It went up to a high point here, 45 days. It went up to another high point here, 45 days later. 45 days later, another high point. 45 days later, we're expecting a high point here between 10, 11, 18, 19 July. Could it extend a little bit further? Yes, by all means. The point is we are now in a bullish upwards move. NEO again, guys, potentially is going to reach this target here of $35, $36. If anything, keep your NEO. You don't need to sell it. Simply buy it, hold it. OMG, exactly the same. I've put my sell orders on here at about $3.90. You can have a look at that chart. It's soon going to break through this dotted line there and break this high point and head into that point there. There's a big probability for this to happen. Then BNB is still in this upwards channel. No need to sell your BNB. BNB is another coin that you can simply buy and hold. We're going to head up into that point there, a bit of a drop here and then upwards. And we do still see a 500% gain upwards and more. XRP, as I mentioned on the webinars, we do expect some sort of a spike here very soon. We don't know exactly when, so we look at the time frame for that, a week, 2 weeks maybe. But what I want to see is that spike between 0.6, 0.8. There's going to be a secondary spike. Okay, it's going to go sideways, break down here, very good buying opportunity. And then we're going to see that big spike here, 1000% plus. Guys, thank you very much. This is the end of the presentation. Everything is good in the crypto world. Just be patient. Don't sell. Don't fear. Everything is good. everything's going to work out very fine. Thank you. This is Marius Landman here from Brisbane, Australia. Hope to talk to you soon. Thank you.